What about you, Bharat? Said practice more Linux commands. Say minimum 40 to 60 Linux commands you need to practice. And in each command again we have a lot of options also. And coming to installations, okay, so we need to install different packages like Nginx or Apache. Okay, so Nginx or Apache or HTTPD we need to install. After this, so we need to go for Tomcat. For Java-based applications, we are going to use the Tomcat. And what is MySQL? So MySQL is the database. So we are going to use the database, centralized database we have is MySQL or MySQL. And we have Postgre is also. Then Redis kind of cache, RabbitMQs, message queues. Okay, so RabbitMQ is the message queuing. So these all the software, different softwares and DevOps tools like try to install Git. So these all very small installers. GitHub. So GitHub is an account, you don't need to install it. Then Maven or Gradle. So apt install Maven, apt install Gradle, mostly install those packages. Then Nexus, SonarQube, Docker.io is the package name. Okay, so these all the packages you need to install on your Linux machine. So once you install these uh, softwares, like it's only 5% of the work. Going forward, we need to troubleshoot, we need to manage. Say 100% you don't need to install all this in a single shot. Going forward, we need to manage through Docker, we will going to install through Kubernetes, we are going to deploy all these. Try to get some errors also, no issues. We are going to manage these issues. Okay, so these all the different packages. So try to install on your. Okay, so try to Google them. Otherwise, use ChatGPT also. It gives the steps, but do some trial and error kind of things. But do the trial and errors kind of things. Okay, so different packages we need to install. But going forward, what we need to do is, if we have 100 servers, we need to deploy. Okay, so one tool we are going to use from the DevOps for this software distribution is Ansible we can use. So using the Ansible, if we want to deploy the softwares in 100 servers, we can use the Ansible kind of thing. Okay, otherwise we can use Docker also for the microservices. So we can use the Docker also for the microservices. From this, we are going to deploy our applications. From this, we are going to deploy our applications. But before going for Ansible, Docker, otherwise Kubernetes, first we need to learn the things from manual installations. Okay. So what is the scenario of automation why we are going is, we have installed all these softwares by thousands of engineers, some thousands of times they have done, and now we are going to manage them automatically. We are going to provision automatically. We are going to, so we are not going to manage them manually. Automatically, we are going to manage. So for the software distribution, which software we are using? So for the software distribution, which software we are using? Ansible is the software we are using. So Ansible, say, is used for IT automation tool or configuration management tool. Otherwise, it can be used for software distribution also. So what is the advantage is, say you are like if I tell to install 10 to 20 packages, okay, your feeling is an assignment kind of thing. But assume If I want to install 100 packages, or maybe every day I need to install those packages, it's very challenging kind of thing. So that is the purpose we are going for automation. And what is the leader for configuration management? The automation is, so which tool is the automation leader?
Ansible, sir.
Ansible. And what are the other competitors for the Ansible we have is, we have other than Ansible, we have Puppet. Otherwise, we have Chef also. So these are the tools we have. Among these all the three, Ansible is the leader. But before going for Ansible, what you need to do is need to install, need to configure multiple commands on the Linux. An administrator, like maybe 10 to 15 administrators, what manually can do, and with the help of Ansible, one Ansible DevOps engineer can do those things. Okay, so for the configuration, we are going to use the Ansible. And the same steps what we are doing on the multiple missions, we may use some shell or bash or Python or kind of scripts also we are going to use. So in our scenario, we are going to learn more Python scripting. So previously people used to work with shell or bash also, but today in the DevOps, most of the people in the cloud and DevOps kind of job roles expecting Python kind of skills also. Okay, for the Jenkins, like we need to set up the Jenkins master and slave, and how to connect to remote without password. So this scenario, everyone need to know from the Linux administration wise and even from the DevOps wise also. Okay, so what is the scenario? So we need to connect you to a remote Linux mission. Say assume I'm an administrator. I want to connect you to 20 Linux servers. Then I need to remember my 20 passwords. Otherwise, what I required is I'll have 20 keys. I'll have my 20 keys. Instead of doing those things without having the password, we are going to connect to those missions. So this step, everyone should know, either is a Linux admin, otherwise Ansible is also we are going to use, and even in the Jenkins also we are going to use these steps. So that's the reason I'm covering this topic in the initial class itself. Can you tell what is the use case? Can you tell once? What's your understanding?
Like we can install more, like yeah, more servers, or
No, no.
the admin.
We want to connect to those servers,
Yeah,
but I don't want to connect through the password. I can't remember 100 passwords.
yeah.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Say if we want to connect
Connect to more number of servers,
more
like
number of servers, we need to remember those passwords, or we need to remember,
keys.
yeah, we need to remember those keys. That's not an automation solution, because we may get more servers also without requiring the password or rootless, like a passwordless access. Every administrator should able to connect. Okay, so what are the other use cases? Even in AWS also we are connecting through passwordless only, right?
Yes, sir.
So how to generate the keys is AWS is generating the keys. But now assume I have, okay, I have one Linux server. Say in this server, what I need to do, I'll explain. This is first my Linux server. We need to generate a key. So we need to generate a key. So what is the name of the, sorry, what is the command you need to type is ssh-keygen. So what is the command we need to type?
sh underscore
ssh-keygen. On which mission we need to generate this?
Linux server, Linux machines.
No, no. On the first server we need to connect. So this is my production mission, or this one I'm using every day. Okay.
Sorry, sorry.
On this mission I need to type
So I didn't understand that. We need to generate this on which
yeah, on which, say, this is admin production box. Every day he may use this box. Say in your laptop we may have an instance, right?
yes, sir.
On that instance we are going to generate this
Okay. So for one server.
one server. So from this we are going to connect to remote 20 missions we have.
Okay.
Okay, so for that we need to create sh-keygen is the command. Otherwise we can use sh-keygen hyphen T is the encryption algorithm, and hyphen B. By default, if you don't give also, it's going to use a hyphen T only. And how many bits is going to generate is 2048. Okay, if you want more, that key is going to generate this many number of bits. By default, how many will get if you don't give anything?
2048.
2048. Double if you want, then we need to get,
1096.
yeah, so more encryption if you want, we need to choose it. Okay, so once you generate this key, say what is the home directory for Ubuntu? /home /Ubuntu. If it is Amazon Linux, if it is Azure, normal local machine, we may have root account. These are the different sorry. So these are the home directories we have. In our home directory, there would be one directory would be created. The directory name is, what is the name of the directory? .ssh. By default, if you use ls, it won't display for us. For the hidden files or directories, what is the command we need to use is ls hyphen al we need to use. Then only it displays the hidden files and folders for us. Hidden files and folders is going to display. So for that we are going to use ls hyphen al we are going to use. So then here, like, what are the files it is getting generated by default is id underscore rsa, id underscore rsa dot pub. So what is that meaning of pub is? It's the public file. One is a public key, second one is private key. Say among these, which one is public key and which one is private key?
Dot pub is public key.
id underscore rsa dot pub is public key, and id underscore rsa is
Private key. So we need to give both keys, right?
no, it generated both the keys. It generated both the keys. And what is the directory in your home directory? In our home directory dot
SSH.
.ssh is there. So .ssh is the like a directory name, and what are the files are getting created here?
ID. Oh, sorry.
id underscore rsa and
ID
id underscore
rsa.public.
okay. ID underscore RSA, and one more key is there, authorized underscore keys. Okay, say what is the authorized underscore keys is whatever the
Sir,
yeah,
these are for to like to create more servers
no,
without password, right?
without password. We have already those 20 servers in AWS. If we want those 20 servers need to be created, we don't use Ansible kind of tool. Can you tell me which tool we are going to use for that? I want to provision 20 resources programmatically. Then which tool we are going to use?
Uh, no, sir, I don't know.
So we will use the Terraform kind of tool.
Okay.
So infrastructure
So,
provisioning is done through
and
Terraform.
Terraform.
Once you got the infrastructure, on top of that, I want to set up the softwares. I want to do the patching, user creations, software deployments. These all will do through
Ansible.
configuration management kind of tool like Ansible. In order to work with the Ansible, in your Ansible controller, in the where we have the Ansible, we need to generate the key. And what is the command we are using to generate the key?
SSH hyphen
sh
keygen.
hyphen keygen. Then it's going to generate two files. What are those two files?
ID underscore RSA and ID
ID
underscore.
underscore RSA and ID underscore RSA dot pub. Okay, say if we have n remote servers, n means in our example it's maybe 20 or 100, 200, whatever it's maybe. Okay, so assume we have 20 or 200. Okay, say go to connect to those servers. In that mission, what we need to do is in your home directory, this is the shortcut symbol for home directory. Okay, slash dot sh. So we will have one file called authorize underscore keys. If you don't have authorize underscore keys, so what you need to do is you need to create a file. So we need to create a file also. Okay, how we can create using touch or vi kind of command, we can create a key and copy the content of this one we need to do manually. In all the missions, we need to copy from which file to which file we need to copy.
Public key.
Yeah, ID underscore RSA. In which mission? In the first mission, we have this need to be copied into
In all missions.
All
in
missions.
all the missions. Into which file we need to copy?
Dot sh.
No.
Uh,
In,
I,
ID,
I,
ID, ID
that is
underscore
in the
R.
source mission. In the destination, on which mission we need to?
Authorized keys.
Yeah, authorize underscore keys. In all these 20 missions, we need to copy this key. Okay, so once you copy this key, okay, then from first server, we can connect using the command sh. You don't need to give any key also. Username @ that IP address. Okay, so if you give this, what's going to happen? Automatically is going to establish the connection. Okay, yesterday at least we given -i that key pair, right? So here you no need to do this also. Automatically we are going to connect to this mission. Are you able to understand the steps?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then which of the mission I want to connect, automatically I'm going to connect using that IP address. In all the missions also I need to copy. If I don't want to copy manually, normally I'll use sh-copy-id. We have one more command, but in AWS it won't work. sh-copy_id won't work in AWS because we don't have that key. Normally we need to enter the password for this. For the first time, anyhow, to connect to the remote machine also, we need to configure the password. Once you copy the code into authorized keys, we no need of
Password.
password. But for the first time, anyhow, we require the password. But for AWS missions, for the first time also, but that's possible. But later we'll do, instead of making now the complex. Okay, so we can do that assignment also. Okay, say as of now manually create. Then we'll get one more file in this. On the remote machine also it would be created, called as known_host. So what is the advantage of known_host is, if already that mission knows in the entry of known host, normally you will get a prompt like yes, no, this kind of prompt we don't get if that mission is already in the, if it is already in the
Host.
known host. Okay, it won't assume it's not a new mission. It won't again prompt us. Any doubts on this?
No, sir.
Will show in this like lab.
Yeah, I'll show this. Actually, my account is not connecting. I'll take. Anyone have account? Account is there. Sure. Otherwise, I'll take 2 Linux missions in Azure. I'll show you. Okay, AWS or Azure, any 2 Linux missions, the steps are almost same. So here I'll go to virtual missions. So if you create an Azure account for 1 month, they're going to give $200. So yesterday I created one resource group, my project, that itself I'm going to use. So I'll keep as one mission as server, I'll keep. Second mission I'll keep as client. So this is Ubuntu 22.04. And these missions, anyhow, Azure is providing the keys. By default, they given the username is Azure user, but Azure gives the option to change the username also. But here root is not allowed. So root is not allowed. Azure, instead of Azure user, you can give other name also. And 22 port, even remote mission, using the SH only, we are going to connect. So using the 22, we are connecting. Disk, I'm getting 30 GB of the disk. So with the default options, I'm creating. I'm downloading the key pair. Okay, let it create. I'll create one more mission as the client that will called as server. The first mission I'll create one more. Like this, you may have 20 missions also. The steps are almost same. So here not mandatory. We should have Ubuntu only. Another flavor also is fine. So I'm going with the default options. Some validation is failed. Mhm. Here they'll give quota of around 3 CPUs like that. That quota exceeding they're telling. So this is only one CPU and here we have some servers are there. That is the reason maybe. I'm cleaning those resources. Later we'll create. think we deleted those. This public IPs only 3 are allowed for the free account. That is the reason it's not allowing. Let's delete those two. I think that's deleted. Anyhow, now it allows to create. Meanwhile, I'll create one. So either client or slave, anything is name is this just name. Say here first I'll connect you to the first mission. That is the server. So here we got one public IP 172 series. So I want putty gen also. So load. So here we got server key. Save it as private key. So here I'll give it as server key ppk, and I'm going to enter that public IP. Azure user is the username. So now here we have a lot of files are there. .sh also is there by default. For AWS Azure, we'll get that .sh. So here we have one key is there, authorized keys. What is this contents of this authorized keys is now we created one key, right? If you want to connect to this, that entry should be in the authorized keys. Otherwise, we are not going to connect. But using that key, I'm not going to create. I'm going to create my own key. What is the command is ssh-keygen. Ssh-keygen. Here enter a file. By default, the path is in the home Azure user .sh id underscore RSA. You just click enter. No need of passphrase. Again, no need of passphrase. Now go and check the files here. Two files got created. id underscore RSA. id underscore RSA dot pub. Okay. So then, which file we need to copy in the remote mission?
Authorized keys.
No. See in these three files, which file content we need to copy?
.pub keys.
A dot pub key need to be copied in the remote mission. In the remote
Remote mission
mission, we need
authorization
to
key.
copy. Okay. Okay. So this content I'll copy, not RSA dot pub. Say each and every line we shouldn't miss. Even a single bit if you miss also, it won't allow. So this content I'll paste somewhere in the notepad. So I'll connect to the second mission, that is a slave mission. This is the slave mission. I need to get this public IP also. So meanwhile through putty gen, I'll convert that to code. This is the slave key.
Like, can you copy that? Oh, mm,
Come again.
yeah. No. I just
First
asked.
I want to convert that into PPK. So I save this into the save. Then here we got this public IP. Putty. Here the username is Azure user. Now if I go for this ls, in ls I don't get that. cd.sh. So here we have already these authorized keys. I'll open this in the authorized keys, vi authorize underscore keys. This key it should be there. Add the second key also, which I copied here in the notepad. So this one I'm going to save escape colon wq. I saved this one. Then from the first mission, I'm going to connect to this mission without having any username, any key. Okay. So as of now, I'm in the server. Then using SH username is Azure user, and that second slave IP address I'll use.
Not here.
Not here in the server. Okay, so from this, now if it is able to connect, our steps are successful. For the first time, it asks you the prompt, yes. Now we are connected to the slave itself. If I make exit, it exits. Next time again, if I want to connect, it won't prompt me any. For the second time, it won't prompt me anything. Okay, I'll go to that slave mission once. Here I got this authorize underscore keys. That entry is, sorry, 1 second. This is the slave, right? Shit. Here we got this known underscore. That entry would be there in the known host. This IP that captcha is going to store. Like we using this hash, it's again, it's not going to prompt for that mission. It's not going to prompt that mission. Okay. So again, I'll connect it to that mission once. This is slave. If I have 100 missions like this, which if I know the IP, that's enough. Mostly the username IP. No need to remember the passwords by the administrator. I'll do reverse step for again you will get a practice. In the slave, what I'll do is I'll generate one key. Try to understand ssh-keygen. I'm going to generate a key here. Now here I got this content. I'll copy here this content. I'll save in the normally two sides you no need to do. This I copied, right? This is a server. In this authorized keys that id underscore rsa dot pub content I'm going to copy. Then what's going to happen is even from the slave also that master or server I can connect. Username is Azure user, and that slave we are going to from the slave to which server we are connecting. To this server from this. For the first time, it again prompt us. and then it is going to connect to this. This permission they need. 1 second. It's the same key. So now it connected to the server. Okay, if I exit, so now 2 missions from anywhere to anywhere. Normally, from the slave to server, we don't give in the real time. Admin may connect to our servers, vice versa. Mostly we don't do. Just for practice purpose, I have done that. Okay, so now I'll do one more assignment. So authorize keys. That same key I'm going to copy even into this mission also. Then from the same mission, I can connect it to the same mission also without prompting the password. If you want to do the lab only on one mission, generate a key, copy that ID underscore RSA dot pub itself into the same authorized keys and try to connect with that mission. If you want to do the lab for practice purpose only on the one server, if you want to do that step. Okay. So this will use even in Jenkins will use, for Ansible will use. So before starting those, practice once this and try to install the packages like Tomcat, Jenkins. So these are the different packages. Try to install. Okay. Any doubts?
Can you show this in here AWS same?
Yeah.
So,
Share me tomorrow one AWS account because my account is blocked. Have created the AWS account?
no, not yet.
Yeah, create one account.
Okay.
So what is the problem? Because my accounts are blocking almost 5 to 10 accounts are created. So is your first account try to create, otherwise you can't do say a VM once you connect, is AWS or Azure is nowhere relevant. It is
Okay.
not relevant to AWS or Azure kind of things. Two Linux missions, these all.
Okay.
So even in the previous, like on our physical Linux servers also, we used to do these things.
Okay, sir.
It's independent of that Linux that AWS or Azure kind of thing. One AWS mission, one Azure mission also, the steps are same.
Okay.
Okay, sure. And install more packages also. Different packages, try to install. Tomcat, Jenkins. So that's the reason, create the account, then you can practice more. Okay.